Hey guys, this is going to be a video on how to play B cache CT side. I'm going to go over 5 different things: the default setup, boosting vents, ways to op, playing aggressive, and soloing. So these demos are going to come from the IEM Katowice major, so let's just get started here. So the first thing we're going to look at default setups at B. And we're going to look at G2, so Jax and Body are your B players. And the first thing you're going to notice is that they both go towards heaven. And Body, he's going to be throwing the smoke for the B main cross. And Jax, he's going to be throwing a deep nade into B main. This is going to allow him to play into checker. And at this point, Body and Jax are set up in a sight and checker crossfire. So a pretty good setup. But what you're going to see is that that's a very common setup among all the top teams. So we have Avant-Garde here. So Crizin and Buster. So Crizin's going to throw that smoke into B main for the cross. He's going to drop into checker. And Buster, once again, he's in the site. Very similar setup to G2, where there's one player in sight, one player in checker. And it's a little bit different this time because the terrorist actually threw the smoke B main. But Buster, he's going to be looking on the left side of the smoke. And Crizin, he's going to be looking at the B main smoke on the left side of where the box is, basically. I'm going to look at Renegades, so Jacob and JKS. Once again, it's going to be pretty similar, but a little bit different. As Jacob, he's going to drop into checker right away. JKS is going to throw the smoke for the B main cross. And JKS is going to stay on top of heaven and spot for feet at B main. Meanwhile, Jacob, he's going to play checker and he's going to spot this angle towards the sunroom area. I'm going to look at compLexity, so Stanislaw, nothing. You're going to see that Stanislaw is going to go up towards heaven. Nothing is going to go towards sight. And Stanislaw, he's going to drop into checker right away. Nothing, he's going to go towards sight. And he's going to have a flash ready for Stanislaw as soon as he makes contact. And this is a pretty interesting angle that Stanislaw is holding, the right side of sunroom. Direct line into B main towards that right side of sunroom. So nothing, he has his flash prime just in case Stanislaw gets some pressure. But overall, you can see the default setup is mostly a lot of the teams, they like to smoke B main. There's almost always one player checker. And the second player is usually sight or heaven. He has to have utility. And this is important because this player needs to be able to support the checker player just in case he gets into any trouble. So we're going to look at boosting vents at B. And we're going to look at nothing in Stanislaw on compLexity. So first thing you're going to notice is that they try to break the vents through the wall. Both players try to do it. They both go up through heaven. Nothing throws a smoke for the B main cross. And Stanislaw is going to delay this a little bit, but he's going to toss a deep nade into B main. And at this point, after they both drop into checker, they're going to walk into position to do this event boost. So after they're in position, they end up boosting. You're going to see with G2, Jackson Body is going to be something very similar. They break the vent through the wall. They both go up towards heaven. Body's going to throw this smoke for B main. Jax, he's going to be the one throwing a deep nade into B main. They're both going to drop checker, and they get in position to go for the boost. So the big reason why I want to explain that, I'm going to rewind this a little bit, but the big reason why they throw the smoke is to prevent any terrorists from rushing through, and that extra nade is to further push back the terrorists so that there aren't going to be any terrorists that try to push through the smoke as they boost through the vent. They don't want to be caught off guard while they do this boost. So right here, Renegades, we have Jacob and JKS. Once again, they're going to break the vent through the wall. They both go through heaven. JKS is going to toss out smoke for the cross. And instead of a grenade, JKS is going to use a flash. So this accomplishes the same thing as that grenade. And they're both going to drop down. They walk into position, they boost up into the vent. So, in general, always smoke B main when you're going to go for the vent boost, and make sure you use an additional nade or flash for B main because this will further push the terrorists back so that they don't end up pushing you through the smoke as you're trying to boost through the vents. And another key detail is that they both drop checker to boost, so they go through heaven and they don't go through CT. So a very key detail, as the timing is very important. So we're going to be looking at playing aggressive at B. And we're going to look at TYLOO. So they have a 3-man setup. Summer has one flash, Xkurt and Bentet. They're going to be the 2 players that push. They're going to all go through heaven. Xkurt and Bentet, they're dropping straight down into B main. And you're going to see Summer, he's playing at the top of heaven. And he's going to throw this flash on the right side. Bentet and Xkurt, going to take advantage of that flash. They take the fight on the player B main. They take it, and then they throw an additional smoke. We have Vega Squadron, Crush, and Chopper. They're both going to go through Heaven. This is only 2 people, but the idea is still very similar. So Chopper is going to go through Checker, and he's going to push towards B main. Now Crush, he's lining up that same flash that TYLOO threw. So he's going to throw it deep on the right side. Chopper, he's going to take advantage of that and peek it. Also, once again, throwing that smoke towards the end of the B main. So nothing in Ricky. This is going to be a little bit different, as the last 2 we saw that they used utility. For Ricky and nothing, they're just going to straight push, no utility, completely dry, and they end up getting the kill. So as you can see, there are 3 different types of ways to aggress B main. The first 2 involved using flashes, and the last one just involved just a straight push with no utility. So I want to talk about awping at B. So this first clip we have Jax. He has the AWP, and Body is going to be the one supporting. So I'm showing both point of views because I want to show the role of the supporter. So Jax, first thing he's going to do is when he goes towards Heaven, he's going to flash B main and then drop down and peek. And at the same time, you'll see that Body is playing in the site. He has the flash ready just in case Jax undergoes any additional pressure. So right here, Execute and Bentet. Execute's going to go up towards Heaven. Bentet is also going to follow him as well. And interesting thing you're going to see here is that Bentet's actually going to be the one flashing for him. The same flash from the top of Heaven that we just saw in the previous clip. And with that, Execute is going to drop into Checker. And with that, he's going to post up on Sunroom from the other side of Checker. We have JR this time. He's playing solo at B. And you're going to see that that flash from the top of Heaven is very common among all these players. So you're going to see JR do the exact same thing. He's going to go from the top of Heaven. He's throwing that deep flash towards B main, and he's going to peek it off of it. So another example, we have Avantgarde, Crizin, and Buster. So right here, Crizin, he has the first one. He's going to drop into Checker right away. Buster, he's also going to drop into Checker. And you're going to see that he takes that same angle that Stanazon took earlier, where he peeks the right side of Sunroom. So that's also a very valuable pick. He just has to go for it, though. He gets a kill. And finally, this one, we have Apex and RPK. Apex is the one with the AWP. RPK, he's going to be the one supporting him. So Apex, you're going to notice that he drops into Checker right away, and he goes for the straight B push. So he goes the long way around through Checker to go for this B main pick, and he almost gets this kill. A very interesting pick to use. It's very helpful. You can see RPK. He assists with his counter flash to allow Apex to get away. So depth, you're going to see that he does a very similar pick to Apex, but it's slightly different. So right here, he goes through the top of Heaven. He drops into Checker. And he starts scoping in red. This moment he starts pushing up like this. And you're going to see the peak he goes for, though, is this cross towards the Sunroom area. So definitely very useful to use as an AWPer. And you can see those are all the different types of ways to peek B. So I want to talk about soloing B. So we have Cirque in this first one. And you're going to see that all these players, they play, when they're soloing B, they all play almost the same way. So Cirque, he's going to throw this smoke for the B main cross. He's going to throw a deep nade and just scope up and play spotting for feet at B main. You're going to see the same thing from JKS. So JKS, he's going to go up towards Heaven. He's going to throw a smoke and then just spot for feet. So the big reason for this is that by spotting for feet, he's able to get the early information and use his utility to get away towards the site. And at that point, his teammates can help him do the CT rotate. So JR does the same thing. He doesn't smoke, but he does play the feet angle at the top of Heaven. So as you can see, big thing is to play from Heaven spotting feet when you're soloing, and make sure you use your utility when necessary. And with that, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please leave a like or a subscribe if you guys like that. And if you have any ideas for future content, please leave a comment down below. So once again, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.